Three computer models are showing three completely different scenarios for the last week of December. And buried in that disagreement is a clue about what might actually happen. Most of America is about to experience one of the warmest Christmases on record. But one region refuses to cooperate with the warmth, and what happens there this week could be a preview of late December. Here's what you need to know in 30 seconds. The Northeast gets hit with three separate winter weather events this week, but that's just the appetizer. The main course arrives December 28th, when a trough finally digs into the eastern United States. Your reward at 30 seconds? The 540 thickness line. This is the dividing line between rain and snow. And between December 28th and 31st, that line sets up in a position we haven't seen since early December. When it does, everything changes. But what is the 540 line and why does it matter? That explanation comes at 4 minutes, and understanding it is the key to understanding what might happen at year's end. The radar this Sunday morning shows a quiet pattern for most of the lower 48. Some weather out west, higher elevation snow, lower elevation rain, nothing unusual. Winter weather across the Great Lakes region, southern Ontario, interior sections of New England, but nothing significant. The middle of the country is quiet. The deep south is quiet, except for scattered showers. But don't let the quiet fool you. Big changes are brewing for this week. The Northeast has been an anomaly all fall and early winter. Consistent shots of cold air, persistent troughing. While the rest of America bakes, the Northeast stays locked in winter's grip. And this week continues that pattern. Not one system, not two, but three separate opportunities for winter weather before Christmas even arrives. System number 1 arrives Tuesday morning, December 23rd, just 2 days before Christmas, Christmas Eve. Cold air is still in place across the Northeast. A system moves into that cold air and begins producing winter weather. Snow breaks out Tuesday morning across Pennsylvania. Even Maryland could see snow in favored areas. West Virginia might see some ice mixing in. By mid-morning Tuesday, moderate snow develops across the Poconos and Catskills. Scranton sees snow falling. New York City could start with snow. This isn't a major storm. The moisture doesn't look super heavy, but these systems can overperform when cold air is locked in place. Tuesday afternoon brings festive snow to Boston. Snow covers the ground in areas where recent warm rains melted previous accumulation. It's the kind of scene that creates Christmas magic. Southern Maine could see the best snow from this system. Augusta and downeast areas might pick up several inches as high pressure from the north hangs the system up temporarily. Then the system moves away. Quick hitter. In and out. But enough to put snow on the ground for Christmas Eve. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 tells us, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. Even a modest snowstorm 2 days before Christmas serves a purpose in God's design." System number 2 is lighter. Christmas morning, December 25th. Northern stream energy brings snow showers to Maine. Not accumulating significantly, just a coating to an inch. But it keeps the winter atmosphere alive. System number 3 is where things get serious. December 26th, the day after Christmas. And this one has forecasters concerned because the models are showing significant ice potential. The latest European model shows freezing rain across southern New England, pink colors indicating ice, freezing rain, and sleet. The most dangerous winter precipitation types. A sharp boundary develops. Very heavy snow to the north, freezing rain and ice to the south. This is a classic high-impact winter storm setup. Ice storms cause more problems than snowstorms. A quarter-inch of ice brings down power lines, snaps tree limbs, creates impossible driving conditions. Last night's European model was colder with this system. This morning's run trended slightly warmer. Still cold enough for widespread icing, just not quite as extreme. The American GFS model tells a different story. It's colder with Tuesday's system, shows snow as far south as Baltimore and Philadelphia, but it doesn't have as much moisture. Then, with the December 26th storm, the GFS is much warmer. It shows a 996 millibar low crossing the Finger Lakes region of New York. That track brings warm air, then tries to change to winter weather late. Why such different solutions? We're dealing with marginal temperatures, the battle zone between warm and cold air. Small shifts change everything. Now, here's the 4-minute explanation you've been waiting for, the 540 thickness line and why it matters. Thickness measures the depth of the atmosphere between two pressure levels. The 540 line specifically represents where temperatures aloft support snow versus rain. Above the 540 line, precipitation falls as snow. Below it, precipitation falls as rain. Right on it, you get a mix. For most of December, the 540 line has been pushed way north. That's why warmth has dominated. That's why winter weather has been scarce outside the Northeast. But between December 28th and 31st, something changes. The European ensemble shows that 540 line diving south and hanging around, not just for a day, but for several days. And when the 540 line sets up favorably during the climatologically coldest time of year, magic can happen. The European ensemble shows below-average temperatures arriving December 28th. The Barney Purple extreme cold isn't there, but legitimate below-normal temperatures spread across the eastern United States. With that cold comes energy. Multiple areas of energy in the atmosphere. Shortwave troughs, pieces of energy embedded in the larger pattern. But here's the key. Southern stream moisture finally shows signs of cooperating. In early December, we had cold air, abundant cold air, but no Gulf moisture. The southern stream was dormant. Cold and dry doesn't produce snow. You need cold and moisture. Now, the pattern might deliver both. Cold air arrives December 28th, and the southern stream shows activity. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 10 says, "As the rain and the snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater." Snow requires specific conditions. Cold air, moisture, lift, and late December might finally provide all three. The operational European model shows an extreme scenario for December 29th through 31st. Low pressure develops off the east coast. Cold air pours south. The 540 line sets up from Oklahoma through the Carolinas. Lake effect snow ramps up several days after Christmas. Then moisture streams north from the Gulf of Mexico. Snow breaks out across Oklahoma and Arkansas. The deep south sees a snowstorm. Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. The storm intensifies off the coast. Then it exits to sea. Will this happen exactly as shown? Absolutely not. There's zero chance the European model nails this scenario 9 days in advance. But the ingredients are there. The pattern supports winter weather potential, and that's more than we've had in weeks. The GFS doesn't show the deep south storm. It shows energy producing snow across the northeast with a trough, but it doesn't drive cold air as far south. The Canadian model shows a larger, faster system, more aggressive trough, better Gulf moisture tap, rain changing to snow across the mid-south, snow in middle Tennessee. 3 models, 3 different solutions, but all showing increased winter weather potential compared to the past few weeks. Here's what we know with high confidence. December 28th through 31st brings a temperature pattern change. Above average warmth gets replaced by below average cold. Here's what we're monitoring with lower confidence. The southern stream phasing with northern energy to produce a significant winter storm. The window is narrow. 7 to 10 days out, models will flip repeatedly, but it's worth watching because the setup is there. Job chapter 37 verse 6 tells us, "He says to the snow, 'Fall on the earth,' and to the rain shower, 'Be a mighty downpour.'" God controls when and where precipitation falls. We simply observe and forecast. Let's talk about the active week ahead for the Northeast before we get to year-end speculation. Tuesday's system isn't a blockbuster, but it's enough to create Christmas vibes, enough to put snow on the ground. 2 to 4 inches possible across interior New England, 1 to 3 inches along I-95 if temperatures cooperate. Christmas Day's system adds a coating to 1 inch in Maine. Nothing major, just enough to maintain the festive atmosphere. December 26th is the wild card. If it tracks as the European model suggests, significant icing occurs across southern New England. If it tracks as the GFS suggests, it's warmer with less impact. Either way, Travel on December 26th looks challenging across the Northeast. Monitor forecasts closely if you're driving that day. Beyond the Northeast, today's weather is quiet. Deep South sees scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms in southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Nothing severe, just moisture trapped in a high-pressure circulation. Lake effect snow develops off Lake Ontario, Syracuse, Finger Lakes region, possibly Rochester, see continuous snow showers. Not heavy, but persistent. Wisconsin sees snow tomorrow morning near Green Bay. Even in warm patterns, northern locations can still see snow. Western United States continues soggy. Round after round of moisture targets the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. This pattern persists through Christmas. Higher elevations in the northern Rockies accumulate snow. Lower elevations deal with rain. Mild temperatures prevent valley snow. Temperature patterns show the Northeast cold. Upper Midwest cold. Great Lakes cold. A tight gradient exists, but cold air remains locked in northeastern regions. Deep South warms up, 60 seconds and 70 seconds widespread. Some spots approaching 80 degrees. That's 20 to 30 degrees above normal. Western U.S. mostly above average. The warmth is pervasive everywhere, except the northeast pocket. But patterns always change, and late December shows signs of spreading the cold beyond just the northeast. We're entering the climatologically coldest period of the year. Late December into early January typically sees the lowest average temperatures. Combining favorable climatology with an active pattern creates opportunity. Not certainty, but opportunity. And after weeks of warmth and boring weather, opportunity is exciting for winter weather enthusiasts. Proverbs chapter 27 verse 1 reminds us, "Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring." Long-range forecasting is humbling. Models change, patterns evolve. But we can identify potential, we can watch trends, we can prepare for possibilities. The December 28th to 31st window has potential, real potential. More potential than any other period this month outside the Northeast. 3 action steps for you. 1. If you live in the Northeast, prepare for an active Christmas week. Stock up on salt, shovels, ice melt. Check your heating system. Multiple winter weather events are coming. 2. If you're traveling for Christmas, especially in the Northeast, build in extra time. Tuesday and Thursday look like challenging travel days. 3. If you're a winter weather fan anywhere in the East, keep watching the December 28th to 31st period. Models will update twice daily, forecast confidence will fluctuate. But this is the most interesting setup in weeks. The European model showing a deep south snowstorm is extreme, but extreme scenarios serve a purpose. They show what's possible when all ingredients align perfectly. Will they align perfectly? Probably not. But they might align enough to produce something. 1996 had a similar late December setup. Cold air, southern stream moisture, favorable trough, and it delivered memorable winter weather to unexpected areas. Could 2025 repeat that? We'll know in about a week. The beauty of weather forecasting is the uncertainty. Models give guidance, not guarantees. Patterns show potential, not promises. And in that uncertainty lies excitement. The possibility that something unexpected could happen. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 counsels us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." We can watch weather without anxiety. We can prepare without panic. We can be excited without being reckless. This Christmas, focus on family. Focus on celebration. Focus on the reason for the season. But when December 28th arrives, pay attention, because the pattern could deliver something special to close out 2025. The Northeast gets 3 shots at winter weather this week. The rest of the country enjoys record warmth, and late December remains the wild card everyone's watching. Models will continue evolving, forecasts will sharpen, understanding will improve. Check back daily for updates. We'll track every model run. We'll watch every trend. We'll communicate every change. God is sovereign over weather. His timing is perfect. His plans are good. Even when patterns surprise us, He is not surprised. The last days of December could get very interesting. The pieces are moving into place. The pattern is shifting. Will it deliver historic winter weather? Probably not, but it might deliver something noteworthy. And after a quiet month, noteworthy would be welcome. Stay tuned, stay prepared, and stay blessed. The forecast continues to evolve, and we'll navigate it together, one update at a time. God bless you all.